my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken heart.
Gratitude chant, very simple. Very simple. So let's stand up, and anybody else want to play a tambourine? Carla likes one. Okay. So the first part, my son told me, is kind of like the melody to Monday, Monday. So it makes it easier to remember. So it goes, thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. And the other part, which goes along at the same time, just goes, thank you, 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 thank you. So we'll start with the low part, and then I'll switch into the high part, and some people can keep singing the low part, and some people can switch with me. Okay? It's your choice. Choice is an important thing to remember as we vote this week on Tuesday. All right, here we go. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you, 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 thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all gratitude.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy, for an invigorating beginning to our service. And welcome to Unity of Gainesville on this beautiful morning with that extra hour of sleep we had last night. So I'm so glad that you're here. May this service bless each of you on your spiritual path. Those of you here in person, those of you joining us on Zoom or Facebook, and all of those who are with us in spirit. My name is Celeste Kroll, and I'll be guiding us through this sacred service this morning. I would like to introduce our speaker, who is Mrs. Carla Palmer, our licensed Unity teacher, and we're looking forward to her talk. Our musician, Kathy DeWitt, and our prayer chaplain in the back is Dee Mitchell. And now we'll have our opening prayer by Carla.
Ooh, good morning. Good morning to the chosen ones right here. You are the chosen ones because with all the time change and everything that's gone on, you chose to be here. So it's great to see you. I'm grateful for you too. So let's just take a moment because my intent for this talk is rebirth in spirit, in the energy that flows throughout us, into us and out of us, and how we are like a sacred fire that is contagious. We are this. And so we are this energy, and I'd like for you to just settle, relax in your chair, align with this new vibration that Kathy has taught us in this song. Thank you, thank you. Just let that go through your mind. Thank you, thank you. And ask yourself, will I say yes to a new vibration today? Will I say yes to that? We have found out that there are 100 million more galaxies in the universes than we thought. Imagine, it's bigger than we thought. Something big is happening now. Love is taking over, pushing us to maintain and sustain this higher energy of gratitude. The theme for the day is the altitude of gratitude is within me. I am on this higher vibrational plane of gratefulness. And so as I take this in, I feel this love in my heart. I feel this vibration going and moving around the room. This room is vibrating with this love. And if there is anyone on your heart and mind that you think could benefit from the vibration of this love in this room, feel free to speak their first name at this time, that they may be healed, that they may be awakened to the light of their own true nature as well, that they are the child of God, the only begotten. This time, just say their name out loud. Jim, Mike, Chris, Tracy, Max, Karen, Kenny. Love pushes us to maintain and sustain this higher vibration that we will be able to access at any time. Thankful for this day, thankful for the chosen ones here, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Carla. Our prayer, let's see, first thing I want to ask is, do we have any first-time visitors here? Yes. And please raise your hand if you're comfortable to do so. And our prayer chaplain will give you a welcome packet, and we're so happy to see you here. Any online first-time visitors may go to our website, and you'll learn all about us. Our prayer chaplain today, as I mentioned, is Dee Mitchell, who is in the back. Prayer is an essential unity practice. You are invited to stay after the service to pray with our chaplain in the room on the left, and access is through the gathering room. And don't forget to look on our bulletin board in the gathering room for classes and events. Also, we have online, check our website, and be sure to subscribe to our weekly e-blast about all our upcoming activities. I also want to tell you about somebody very special coming next week. His name is Terrence Young, and he's going to be the speaker next week. His presentation is entitled, "The Time for Gratitude is Always Now." He's a New Thought transformational speaker, musician, author, and workshop facilitator. He's a longtime member of Unity of North Tampa, where he's had many positions at that point, and has talent in also guitar, piano, and drums. So anyway, I think he's very qualified, and he's going to be a very exciting speaker for next week. So please make sure you can come or Zoom in if possible. Now I would like to introduce our Daily Word speaker, someone that you know, Rapali.
The daily word begins balance. The affirmation, I honor life's changing rhythms. The scripture comes from Ecclesiastes, chapter and verse 8:15. For there is nothing better for the people than to eat, to drink, and enjoy themselves under the sun. Wonderful. Sometimes trying to balance my schedule, to meet obligations, and even to find time for the things I enjoy can leave me feeling scrambled, trying to figure out how to fit it all in. Today, I take my cue from nature and notice the rhythm of the seasons and tides, the cycles of growth, and the order that underlies all things. I appreciate how seamlessly the natural world balances itself and restores itself to harmony. This gift of harmony and balance lives within me. I honor myself when I flow with it instead of forcing my will upon it. I listen to my body's signals. I rest when I'm tired. I eat when I'm hungry. I socialize and seek solitude as I need to. When I care for myself, I find balance. Affirmation, I honor life's shifting rhythms.
This song is called Thanksgiving. 2 words. Lord, today I want to thank you for all the good you bring of all my blessings, every day's Thanksgiving Day. Thank you for thy friends and family, always there to see me through, for their smiles and loving kindness. And by the way, Lord, thanks for you. Thank you for the trees so green and the sky so bright and blue, for this world with all of its wonder. By the way, Lord, thanks for you. Thank you for the gift of music that connects us far and wide, to your smiles and to your presence and our higher power inside. Thank you for the trees so green and the sky so bright and blue, for this world with all of its wonder. By the way, Lord, thanks for you. Most of all, Lord, thanks for you.
Wow. Thank you, Kathy, so much. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it for Kathy. I tell you, it's really, I love working with creative people. Let's say that. And so we can make things out of nothing, you know. It's really great to be here today, you guys, and I just want to tell you a little bit. Last week, I was an evaluator for people going through their skills demonstration seminar out to become a licensed Unity teacher. When I did it, you know, remember those old jokes about when I went to school, I had to, walk through the snow, that kind of thing. I didn't have school buses, but really it was all on Zoom. But each person that was a candidate to become a licensed Unity teacher had to teach a 1-hour class. And then there were questions from the evaluators, like I was an inquisitor or something. But I just want you all to know that, and you know Hank when he comes. So Hank and I were invited to be evaluators for this, for Unity Worldwide Ministries, before they give the certificate, before they certify anyone to be a licensed Unity teacher. So I just wanted you to know that you all are a part of a much bigger movement in New Thought. We call it New Thought. It's really a lot of old thought put together again in new language. But anyway, I just wanted you to know that y'all are a part of that. And they asked me to come back next time, and it's not next year. It's in 3 or 4 months that they want to use me. So we're a part of a whole big system. But today I want to talk about the truth about gratitude. And you're going to get this all month long. And by the end of the month, you are going to be like me, ecstatic with gratitude. So I'll just get right into it. And because these licensed teacher candidates, each one of them, there were 12 of them, and each one of them had to demonstrate and teach a class on one of the 12 powers. And they pulled them. I asked them, I said, how did you get your power? Did you just pull it out of the hat? And they said, yeah. You know, like if they had a favorite one, they may not have gotten it, and all that. So, so this is going to be a little teachy today because of that, putting me in that headspace of it. But gratitude, now get this, follows the law of attraction. Now, you all who have been to Unity for a long time, what is the law of attraction? You know, like play the dun 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 dun. Okay, so thoughts held in mind reproduce how? After their kind. Okay, so right now you can say, all right, I got the message. When I have thoughts of gratitude, what happens? They multiply into more things to be grateful for. Thoughts held in mind. But there's another side. You know, when you flip a coin, there's a head or tail. So the other side is that what? If we have those thoughts of, oh no, I'm so scared. What's going to happen? Oh my God. You know, that kind of thing. What's going to happen? The law of attraction, it's indiscriminate. It's just like, oh, constantly focusing on the negative. Okay, well, let's just bring it in then. Constantly focusing on the positive. Okay, let's just bring it in then. You see? And by the way, my talk, I usually have it all organized in a beautiful folder and all this stuff. My husband was in the hospital this week. And so it became Friday, and I still hadn't had a chance to do my research, Rapali. I told Rapali, I said, I haven't done my research, but this was the notebook I was going to take notes when the doctor came in and write down, you know, what they said. And so the doctor never came in, but as I was sitting there, this came, the whole talk came. So there's no research behind it. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe you could say it was channeled. I don't know. But anyway, we know then that I just want you to know how this came about. So it follows our unity training. What is the creative process? Mind, idea, expression. You guys might want to take notes. You know, I'm starting to be my professor kind of thing now. But the mind, idea, expression is the creative process. It doesn't happen any other way. This is the divine law. First in mind, then an idea in the mind, and then the expression. The expression may still be in the mind, but it can also be in form, all right, like it is here. Like those banners there on the wall. They were first an idea, then an expression of people who helped write these things, and then the expression in the mind was, hey, how about if we have banners? So now here they are in form. It follows mind, idea, expression. It cannot happen any other way. So that brings us to divine order. Because in divine order, that is mind, idea, expression. And so when something happens and goes wrong and you've got to go to the hospital or whatever, you know that it couldn't be any other way. Why is this happening to me? This shouldn't be happening. None of that comes into me. It is what it is. And we do what we need to do about it. So everything is in divine order. It's not just when you got your way. And then I heard one of the teachers, one of the teacher candidates that I was evaluating, she said something about divine order, and I used to think that I was on back divine order, you know, on back order, yeah. So I thought that was worth sharing with you. So, so we have to stop fighting with what is. I want my way, so I pray for what I want. I want an outcome rather than bless and be what is now and grateful for it, you see. I can't even begin. My energy is so high today because of all of this coming through me while my husband was in the hospital, gravely ill. They did not have to operate on him, and he's now home. So, yay, right. So, but when we pray for people, do we know what that soul came in to experience? Are we trying to push a rope up a hill, you know, and all that? What are we doing when we beg and plead, when we pray? And so there's a lot of research now with near-death experience. A friend of mine down in Ocala is a videographer and a former professor and all that. And she had a near-death experience, and so she made a video of it so that she could train doctors into helping people understand when they've had one. And she was on some kind of national council about this and stuff. So we know that there is much more from these. I don't know, have any of you ever had a near-death experience? Anybody in here? Okay, thank you for that. So when we pray, we don't want that prayer to rise. First, do we want it to rise higher with a high vibration? Or do we want to have fear and sadness and shame and all that attached to it? We've got to let that stuff go. It taints it, you know, and I think the last several times I've been here, I've said we never make a decision based on fear because it taints it. So the water experiments in Japan, you all have heard about. I just hit the mic. Have heard about these experiments where they would, you know, have these doom and gloom things, and then they would freeze the water, and the crystals would freeze in clumps and all gnarled and everything. And when they would change that out and put these jugs of water where people were praising and feeling gratitude and that kind of thing, and then they froze the water, and the crystals were beautiful. They were aligned properly. The water molecules got aligned properly in that. And then we look at the way Jesus prayed. This is all the stuff that came out on Friday morning. So we look at the way that Jesus prayed. Did he go, no. Lifted up his hands, which is a sign of what? Lifting up your energy. Your energy is high. You lift that up, and you know that the universe knows and fulfills all your wants and needs. It knows it before. You don't have to ask. It knows what you need. When you walk around with that, you've got like a Teflon shield. You know, nothing can hit it, but it's going to bounce right off. It's going to run right off. It's the way he prayed. He prayed by making thanksgiving first. He didn't have the loaves and the fishes for the 5,000 yet, but he thanked that it was there. And it was. And it was. So what did he do? He made these affirmative statements. The higher the vibration, the more power in the prayer. And that's why I asked you to bring your loved ones into the prayer at the beginning, at the opening prayer. We had built up our energy, and we want them to be able to benefit from that. They don't have to be in this room, right? Prayer energy is instant. And quantum physics is showing that there are entanglements in energy where if one thing here changes, the other that's entangled with it changes. And so how are they entangled? with love, with our love for them. And so that's how that works. In prayer, say what you know is true. It realigns your consciousness. There's a story of Nicodemus in the Bible, and keeping clear with what Rapali said, good, you're not in your comfort zone now. You haven't done all this research. So I'm saying, no, she says you've already said yes. And so that was like, okay. And so today I'm going, Nicodemus, now exactly when did he come in there? You know, what, and so I'm just going to tell you what I remember and what came that day on Friday morning. And it was like, Nicodemus was in a tree. Do you know the story? Nicodemus is this guy who, he was really well connected in their society, their religion, and politics, and all that kind of thing. And he was evidently a little man, a small man. And so he climbed up this tree, and he waited for Jesus to walk by underneath, because he knew that Jesus always walked home this way or something. And so Jesus is walking by, and Nicodemus says, hey, I want to ask you some questions. And he said, how can I be like everything that you're preaching about? And Jesus said, well, you just have to be born again, right? And people say, does Unity talk about being born again? And I'm going, yeah, but not the way you think it is, you know, not the way you think it. So anyway, he said, yeah, which means you have to change your what? Consciousness, your mind, your consciousness. And thank you, great, I love this audience participation today. So Nicodemus thought he meant literally, because that's the lowest form of understanding. And so he said, you mean I have to, go back into my mother's body, or, what? And Jesus, no, just change your mind, change your thinking, change your thoughts, and you change your consciousness. So every time we do that, we are reborn. And it doesn't say in the Bible, I don't think, because I didn't research this, and I was going to this morning, but I went, no, I'm not doing it. I don't think there's anything there's a follow-up to that. I don't think we ever know whether Nicodemus changed his consciousness, or if his consciousness changed or not. But he was chosen, wasn't he? He was called. Let's put it that way. He was called because he had to wait out. He had to wait for Jesus to walk by in order to ask his personal questions. Maybe he didn't want to ask them in front of everybody because he was a hot shot, He was a big guy. He had a big reputation. And so, but in the meantime, we know that he was called, but we don't know if he was chosen, like you guys. So this change in thought, when our consciousness changes, our world changes. Now, I had heard this, I had read this from, Eric Butterworth books and all kinds of self-help books. When your consciousness changes, your world changes. And I was, how can that be? How can that be? And I was going to a spiritual counselor who was an ex-priest at the time. And I was telling him about my mom and how we didn't get along very well. And so he said, well, you just have to pull her across that bridge. You just have to take her across a bridge. And I had no idea what he meant. And I thought, well, this wasn't helpful. And so, I think I went home and all that. And I started one night going to bed. I started meditating before I was going to go to sleep. And I had this scenario. I don't know if any of you, but sometimes the movies start, I see images, when I'm beginning to meditate and stuff. And so I saw this bridge over this creek, and it was like the creek in Ohio where I was from, and it was rushing water. And so I'm thinking, oh, it must be snow melt. The engineer is like, what is causing this, and all that. And so then I look at the other side of the bridge, and my mother is standing there in her red raincoat. She had this lovely red raincoat. And so I walked over and I took her hand and I said, Mom, I'm going to walk you across this bridge. Okay, so we walked and we got halfway across and she stopped and she wouldn't come any farther. And so I'm like, oh no, I've got to get her over here. I've got to get her to the other side. And so I kind of, was pulling her like this and all. And we finally got to the other side. And I just looked at her and I said, oh, good, I'm glad we're now on the same side of the bridge. And then something else happened. I don't know, but that was it. That was the end of that. But do you know that the next time we talked, it was completely different? My world did change. I thought she changed. She thought I changed. We were compatible, simpatico, and all that. My consciousness changed and the world changed around me. I mean, this may sound like a frivolous example, but it is true. It is exactly what happened, and I am so grateful because we had great times together after that. So, let's see what else I said. Let's see, where am I? Oh yeah. So then, Jesus, we are called all the time. In the Bible it says few are, many are called, but few are chosen, that kind of thing. And I always thought, well, that doesn't sound fair. But of course that's the literal translation. But look at what Jesus did, what he said. He said, I am the door. I am the gate. I am the good shepherd, waiting at the gate. I mean, how it was almost like, how do I get through to you? And so he was using those examples. And then later, when I studied more of Bible stuff, the Aramaic translation, which he spoke, is the I am is the gate. The I am is the door. The I am is calling to you. The I am is your higher consciousness. And so it takes on this whole different flavor, doesn't it? We are constantly being called. All we have to do is open the door. Jesus, the consciousness of the I am is there, and it is the door, and all we do is open it. And how do we open it? In prayer and meditation. So gratitude.
Can I share something real quick? That's huge, what you just said to me.
I'm sorry I can't hear you because of the mask, but
What you just said to me is huge. It's
say it back then. Say it back so everybody can get the energy that you just received.
Well, the energy I received is Christians say, Jesus said, I am the way.
Yes.
They have the literal translation to that, and that gets thrown in my face on a lot of days. And as you were saying it, I'm thinking, yeah, but Buddha has a way.
Yes. It's the
And so
I
does
am.
Krishna. They have
Yeah.
a way in
Yes.
back to the God and all that is. But the Christians are saying, no, they don't. Jesus says, I am the way, but you just changed it for me.
The I
Well,
am
always
that
knew
I
it was
am.
different, but now I know why it's different.
Yes.
Because it's the
was-
consciousness of the I am.
Yes.
That Buddha has that consciousness too. So does Krishna. Just like our bumper sticker, we used to have a bumper sticker here that said, there
Exactly.
We honor yours.
Exactly.
Period.
So,
Amen.
so let's give her a hand for this. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up now, but I just want to kind of bring this down, and thank you. You know, if one person gets it, that's it. Yeah. A rising tide lifts all boats. Have you ever heard that expression? And so in a group like this that comes together regularly, when one person gets it, we all benefit. We benefit from that energy that's coming out. And so, thank you very much, Jane. So, gratitude is so powerful. Even the Southeast Regional area of Unity has, for this month, their whole thing is on gratitude also. And they say in it, and I'm like, wow, they took my talk away from me. They say gratitude is generative, it's formative, it is so powerful. And so on Friday morning when I was taking these notes, this is why it's so powerful, because gratitude has 4 of the 12 powers behind it, and probably more. I would say zeal, because of the way I feel today, with this excitement. So, first of all, it has order, divine order, mind, idea, expression of gratitude. And it's got love with the law of attraction, which is love. And then it's got dominion, because I'm speaking. Where does dominion? Ooh, this necklace is getting too tight. From this area, I was just conscious of it. It's dominion. It's where we take dominion over our words. We say the word. We speak the word of truth. And then it's got imagination, where we can imagine all of this gratitude. And so it led me on to unity prayer, where it is a higher altitude of prayer, where we can see more than the whole picture. And when we say we can see more, have you ever been in an airplane and you looked out the window and you could see the houses and the villages and the farms, and you could see how the fields were all plowed up in a pattern, and different things like that. So prayer lifts you up so that you can get this big view of everything, instead of this little me view. You're getting the bigger picture. And so if you want to write this down, but there are 5 steps to unity prayer. And as an evaluator, one of the people that I evaluated put in 4 steps and forgot the last one. And so I very, very gently, not my usual way, I very gently said, and, so anyway, so the first thing that's important, is the most important part, is to relax. That's it. And you get yourself relaxed in some way. And so as we go into our meditation, when I'm finished talking here, I'm going to try to model this. We focus. Who has a mantra? Do people have a mantra they use? Okay, just 2 of us. 3. Okay, good. 4. Okay. Popping up like little. So the mantra helps you keep focused. The mantra goes out and gathers up all those monkeys. Have you ever had monkey mind? That's what we call it. The mantra goes out and gathers up all those monkeys. And so we can use that, saying the same phrase over and over again. Pick a mantra today when we go into meditation. That could be, I am that I am, or just anything that you can, any couple of words that you can focus on. Then by doing that, it takes you into meditation. It takes you into the silence where there is no thought. When Jesus said, take no thought of what you're going to wear, what you're going to have tomorrow, on and on. Take no thought. And then when you come out of that silence, you may have a realization. Write it down. Or, I'll never forget this. I've done this. I'll never forget that one. And then later, 5 hours later, go, what was that again? So, and then ending it, most important. Relaxation is most important at the beginning, and at the end is gratitude. Meister Eckhart, who was a Christian mystic, said that gratitude was the sincerest form of prayer. And then when we say thank you, I'm hearing from people now who say you is the plural. Get you is plural, not you or you, but you meaning all y'all. And so now we can speak Southern in this. We can say now all y'all, because that's what you means now. There's really not an individual you in spirit. We are all one. So if you're going to use the correct term, we should say all y'all. Okay, so that's the end of my talk. Okay. Thank you guys, and thank you for being here again. So let's just, I'm going to use this mic and sit down because my knees are starting to want me to sit down. And so let's get into a comfortable spot. I got it. It's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't got it. Okay. I got it. I don't got it. Whew. So now we have this time. This beautiful, beautiful time of relaxation. Just allow the chair to support you. Breathing in, breathing out. Just paying attention to how the breath feels as it comes in through the nose. If you can, it's kind of fun to focus that breath going to the third eye, right between the eyebrows, and see what that feels like as you breathe in. Play with it. In this relaxation, and it's been proven now that there are millions more galaxies in the universes than we thought. And so each one of the planets, millions and billions of planets that we cannot see and cannot know, so many out there, up there, around us. And using our imagination in the mind and in the heart, and just ask yourself this question. If I were to come back as a planet, what would that be like? What kind of planet would that be? What kind of planet would that be? And as I take that into my visualization, my imagination, and into the silence, I allow the all that is, the I am that I am, to speak to me as a planet and as if I am a planet in the silence. I am, I am, I am. By all God's love, I know I am. I exist. I exist. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. And now I take a breath, big breath. Come back to this room as a planet with love and intention. And so it is. Amen. Did anybody get to be a planet? What was it like? And it is so. Thank you. Give her a hand. Thank you.
So, at this time, by the way, thank you so much for such a lovely talk about gratitude. It was great. And I love the audience participation. That was fabulous. You guys are great. And Kathy, thank you so much for the music you've done so far. Great. Thank you. We're so happy you're here. So at this time, we embrace the principle of giving as a spiritual practice. You're invited to take your love offering in your hand, or imagine it if you've already given. And now we will bless our gifts, knowing that as we give, our blessings are multiplied. So together, repeat after me. Divine love, expressed in me, through me, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Let us now give thanks for the continued growth and prosperity of our beautiful ministry. Hold these words in your heart. Unity of Gainesville, Florida is richly blessed and in the flow of universal abundance. We give thanks that just the right people with loving hearts and skills to help us grow are attracted to join us. We are prosperous, loving, and healthy, joyfully co-creating an abundant life. And so it is.
I'm a super being of light, God's own candle shining bright. I bring the daytime into the night, 'cause I'm a super being of light.
All right, Miss Gwen, looks like he had a good time.
We're super beings of light. Get it? And we brought our friends with us all the way from Texas. This is Blake and Allie. Say hi. They've been with us this morning, even for snack time. They were ready. And today we were talking about since it's the month of November, all the things we're thankful for. And we were especially thankful for our friends, that we could be together even though we're miles and miles apart. And that we are super beings of light. And we may be super beings of love next week or joy, who knows?
Okay, so now let's join in blessing our children and the children of the world. So rub your hands together, we put our hands up, and please repeat after me. Children, we love you.
Children, we love you.
We bless you.
We bless you.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
And we see the Christ presence within you.
We see the Christ presence within you.
Love you, we love you, we really, really love you. Right. All right, in closing our service, let's form a circle, and we will sing the peace song and then speak the prayer for protection.
If you don't know the words to the peace song, it's in the hymn book, page 3. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.